And I'm just going to kind of start us on a short meditation. If you're unfamiliar with the type of meditations that I usually lead, they're very open and flexible. So I would say for what we're doing right now, if you want to just relax your body as best you can, and that can mean being sitting down still or lying down or just relaxing your body physically in whichever way you choose. Just start relaxing your body and pay attention to that physical relaxation. Let that kind of lead you. Let that physical relaxation actually lead you more than any of the specific words that I'm saying right now. Because when we do this type of meditation, it really is the physical that is our great guide. So if we're sitting in a chair, we can be kind of just physically mellow. If we're lying down, we're just relaxing all of our muscles. And when we relax like this in this physical way, the physical aspect is the guide because that's what we're following. We're not following our thoughts right now. It doesn't matter what we're thinking. It doesn't matter if we have seemingly antagonistic thoughts like, oh, I should be doing something differently. Am I feeling physically relaxed enough? Am I doing this meditation correct? What am I going to eat an hour from now? Am I going to ask Tim a question? None of that stuff matters at all, okay? Just let your physical sense of relaxation be your guide. And you might find that you're feeling really more and more relaxed just by doing this already. Or you might find that there's still a lot of thoughts in your head and perhaps your body, even though you're kind of just trying to settle into this relaxation, you might find that your body is not really cooperating with you in the way that you want it to. And there's still some edginess there and some discomfort. Maybe you feel a little bit sore or a little bit cramped. And what's so cool about this kind of physical meditation is that that's totally fine. So even though we're letting our physical sense of relaxation lead us, that doesn't mean we have to deny any of the other physical sensations that might come up, let alone any of those mental thoughts that come up. None of that stuff matters. We're just kind of physically here. We're present. And we're not trying to do anything. We're just relaxing our body. And we're not really even trying to relax our body, right? That's trying is not the right word. We're just letting our body be and we're relaxing into that. And if we find that we can't, quote unquote, relax because our mind is still racing or our body doesn't feel good, that's totally fine. What's so cool about this, again, is just this is completely non-judgmental. I remember when I got into meditation many years ago, I was wondering a lot of the time, am I doing this right? Am I doing something wrong? And I honestly had that thought a lot less than most people I knew who were into meditation. It seems like so many people are always worried about doing something wrong when they're meditating, like meditating is a special thing or something. And it's not. You know, what's special is like just the body's here right now. We're relaxing into this. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a jet in the background flying overhead. And this is special. This is special. And maybe our body doesn't feel that great still. Maybe our mind is still churning. Maybe you're still wondering if you're going to ask me a question. or looking at my beautiful orange and white shirt. It just doesn't matter. This is like, this is being here right now. The body's here. We're here. The mind's here. All this stuff's here. We're relaxing into here. For me, I realized that there was no wrong way to really meditate, I guess, as long as you felt comfortable doing what you were doing. And yes, that is a metaphor for life as well, as far as I'm concerned. This overjudgment, this constant self-criticism, this constant sense that perhaps we're doing something wrong. When we relax into our body like this, we realize, well, it's not that there's anything wrong or anything right. Just this is what's going on right now. And it's special because it's totally not special. I think it was Shunryu Suzuki, the Zen teacher, Zen master, who wrote Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. He said, he gave a big lecture on not special, very famous lecture. I believe it was him who did that. So, I'm pretty sure we're going to talk later about how we can better manifest a certain thing in our life, or manifest something like more peace, even something inward. But really, when we're doing something like this, more of the power, in my opinion, is that there's nothing to manifest or attain when you just relax into what's happening right now. It's okay. It's all right. It's more than all right. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to get things that you want. It just means that at the end of the day, what you really want, what everybody really wants, in my opinion, is what's going on right now. And it's not special. It's that truck that just pulled out across the street and drove off too fast. That's physically relaxing into your body and not giving your thoughts so much importance, not giving your passing physical sensations or discomfort so much importance. It's like your baseline, your real baseline. And it is naturally or inherently, or whatever word you want to call it, good. So in the podcast recently, I've been talking about uh, Maxwell Maltz and psychocybernetics, which is just a great practical book, and something that he talks about in that book that is relevant, I think, or that we can easily connect with this, is this idea of going into a quiet room in your mind, or a decompression chamber in your mind. And when you do something like what we're doing right now, you're decompressing. You're decompressing into the moment. And as I said, this is always available to us. Our mind says, oh, no, it's not. I have to do this and this and this to be happy. Our body says, oh, my shoulder hurts, my legs hurt. I've got a bad cough. There's something wrong with me. I'm sick. But really, this is always just here. So this is one way to look at the quiet room in your mind. And it's also a way to just get to this point where you feel very physically at peace, at ease with what's going on. And from this point too, you can then imaginatively build up what you want to see and hear and feel and touch and smell, taste in your life, in your imagination. It's much easier to do that, I would say, when you're in this kind of relaxed, everything's okay state. And you don't have to do that. You can just be in this state that we're in right now, which is not a state, just this relaxing, right? You can just be here, be present. But if you are here and you then want to utilize these law of attraction principles, you can do that too. And it can be very enjoyable and fun to do that. Because this isn't, when we get to where we are right now, and then we want to play with our imagination, experiment with our imagination, it's not forced. It's not like we're trying hard to manifest something when we're already like this, just relaxed, taking it easy. We're playing, and we're also practicing, as Maltz says. We're practicing how we want to act in the rest of our life. If we feel anxious around people in our mind when we're in this kind of relaxed vibe, right? We can easily imagine talking to people, shaking their hand, slapping them on the back, communicating with them, hugging them in a more non-anxious, relaxed way. We can also more easily imagine whatever we want. We can imagine better health, or a better financial situation, or a better job, or relationships we want. It's easier to imagine from this very, very relaxed state, and then just to play with it, to play with those feelings. And when we play with these feelings and are just practicing playing with these different ideas and these different far out concepts, it's a totally different approach to the law of attraction, or whatever you want to call it, than what a lot of us are aware of. It's just much, much more relaxed. So I'm going to read a little bit from Psycho-Cybernetics just to underscore this point of what we're talking about. And we're really talking about, I would say, two different things. The first thing is what I always talk about, which is just relaxing, physically relaxing, vibing out, as I like to call it, into the present moment. And that's like so special, it's not even special. And there's no point to it. There's not even any self or I am. There's not even that to it, as far as I'm concerned. It's like you're just here. But then the second thing that we're talking about is, once you get here and you're relaxed and you feel good, if you want to play with your imagination some, you can, in so many different ways. And Psycho-Cybernetics, Maxwell Maltz, they really talk about ways that you can play and practice with your imagination in a very open, lenient, you're just kind of imagining whatever you want way. And because you're imagining certain things over and over again that you want, not in a pressured way, but just in a way because, oh, doesn't it feel good to daydream about this, or to think about this and to imagine this happening to me. And of course, daydreaming is not really a dream. It's something that's actually happening, as we all know, in the law of attraction manifesting sense. And if we are imagining or dreaming these things playfully, with a sense of happy practicing these things happening in our life, if we imagine them happening in our life enough in this relaxed way, chances are that they're actually going to occur, at least on an emotional, energetic level, in our external life sooner or later. So I'm just going to read a couple paragraphs from Psychocybernetics. Maxwell Maltz titled this section, Your Own Decompression Chamber. Each person needs a quiet room inside his own mind, a quiet center within him, like the deep of the ocean that is never disturbed, no matter how rough the waves may become on the surface. This quiet room within, which is built in imagination, works as a mental and emotional decompression chamber. It depressurizes you from tensions, worry, pressures, stresses, and strains, refreshes you, and enables you to return to your workday better, and enables you to return to your workaday world better prepared to cope with it. It is my belief that each personality does already have a quiet center within, which is never disturbed and is unmoved, like the mathematical point in the very center of a wheel or axle that remains stationary. What we need to do is to find this quiet center within us and retreat into it periodically for rest, recuperation, and renewed vigor. And to bring it full circle, to find that quiet center within us, we can vibe out. We can physically relax into our body. And then from there, we can play with our imagination if we want. So this can be a daily practice or something you do throughout the day if you want. But this is a really good combination of all the things I talk about. This deep vibing out, this sense of present abundance, mixed with very practical, imaginal play.